chased by a shadowy organization who wanted to kill me and control governments, and whose objective was to sterilize the world. It's all over now.
They're starting again.
As of today, we are making the vaccine, and this will happen at an unprecedented pace.
They're going to do a Nagasaki with a flu virus.
I want you back.
I've come to find you.
Why?
This is not going how I imagined it would.
Hello, this is the Manic Reviewer. TV Mania presents Utopia, episode 2. Excuse me. This was really good. Last week's episode in the season opener was the premiere, and we really get to see the background of Janice, how it came to be. We learn who Mr. Rabbit is. The past between Arby and Jessica. I liked that episode. I did a lot, but I really enjoyed getting back to the characters that we've watched all through last season. It was a good episode. It was. I don't know. I don't really know where to start. I guess we can go right to Ian, who he doesn't look quite happy, does he? In fact, he's the head of an IT department. I don't know if he's the head or he's just working there. But when we first see him, he's thinking about stapling his tongue. That's how bored he is. And he's taking Grant. They've been living together and looking for Becky for like the last year. Becky's been missing. And he just looks so painfully, absolutely bored out of his mind, and his boss is like, I guess they gave him the cover story that he tried to kill himself, and so now they're all worried about him and if he needs to talk, and like he goes out to have drinks with his boss, and he's talking to his boss, and he's like, what if I were to tell you I was caught up in a conspiracy to sterilize the whole world, and I stopped them, and the guy doesn't even pay him mind at all. Not at all. It was really funny. What I didn't like, I never liked Grant. I hate that little brat. I thought he's boring there. He was, it's just a pain. I just don't like him. I never liked that character to begin with. So, I was kind of hoping he would have moved on. But no, he's living with Ian. They're still looking for Becky. And finally, her face pops up on one of his computer screens at work. And we find out that Becky's been living with, oh crap, what was that guy's name? Ross. And he's been giving her injections to keep the disease from killing her. And but she has to do things for him. And he promised if she did one last thing for him, that he'd give her an injection that would keep her healthy. It wouldn't cure her, but it would keep her healthy for the year. And so she basically says, okay, what do you want me to do? and there's this writer that Ross doesn't like, who wrote this book on leads, which is an illness in this world. Only Ross doesn't believe that Leeds could possibly have written this book because he's a complete idiot. So they want to set a trap that that Becky will lure. It will go back to this guy Tony's house and get all the information they have on he has on Leeds. Find out how he wrote the book, where he got all his scientific analysis from, and when they go there, she gets to go back to this guy Tony's house, and right away Ross busts in, and we see Ian McDiarmid, Emperor Palpatine himself, uh, living in like a cave inside this guy's apartment or his house, and Ian McDiarmid is playing Anton, and he doesn't speak any English, but as Tony describes, this guy just showed up on campus one day and started doing equations, and he brought him back to his house, and um, and he started putting him to work basically. And Ross is like, Tony, are you having sex with this man? It's really funny. I'm not doing it justice, but the interaction between Becky, Anton, Ross, and Tony are really funny. It's really hysterical. And so Ross and Tony tie each other up because they need Ross for some reason. To help, or then Ross wants Tony to come back with him so that Ross can write the definitive book on Leeds. And so they kidnap Tony and Anton, and of course Becky goes with them, and they go to this like abandoned. I guess I'm gonna say it looked like a school, but I don't know. Maybe it was like an abandoned hospital, and that's where they've been hiding out. We see Wilson Wilson. He's joined the group. He's joined Mr. Rabbit. And he's got a new fancy eye patch. He's sitting on a couch. This was weird. He's sitting on a couch. He's waiting to talk to Mr. Rabbit, and he finds a spoon tucked in the cushions, and he pulls it out. And for anyone who doesn't know, he had a spoon. Someone pulled his eye out with a spoon last season. So he's looking at the spoon, kind of horrified, and then he tucks it into his pocket, and he meets I'm gonna butcher her name, Milner, and Michael, and Arby. I'll get to him in a minute, but they give they talk about how this guy Ross, he knows things he shouldn't, and that he needs to be taken down. So all these things kind of come to one point. I'll get there in a second. Arby has just like totally quit the business. He's done. He's going by Peter now, and he met this woman and her child, and I guess he's been dating her for like a year, and he's moved on. And Arby's he looks happy, although he's still pretending not to be who he was. He's still what I liked about Arby is we kind of see how he came to be who he is. His father butchered freaking rabbits right in front of him. Their father was Arby and Jessica's father were really terrible people. So you know what? Timeout. I think I actually got Ross's name mixed up with somebody else. I don't think that's. I'm sorry if I did. I'm not sure. I'm going by the IMDb page, so IMDb isn't always right. Anyway, so Arby's he's a plumber now, and he's met this little girl, Amanda. And he's dating her mom, and then all of a sudden his former partner shows up, and his former partner's like, it took me a while to find you, and they're talking about how like he regrets everything they had done, and going on and on. And Arby's like, well, you know what, you can move on now that you're out. And his former partner's like, oh, I'm not out. I was never out. You don't get to leave. And the mother and daughter come home, and basically his partner Michael, his ex partner, basically threatens him like, if you don't come back to work, I'm gonna kill your family. But knowing Arby's like such a badass, like why you would threaten him, I don't know, but whatever they do. And so then, and that leads right into the scene where Wilson's sitting on the couch, pulls out a he finds this spoon, maybe the same spoon that pulled his own eye out, and that's when Arby comes in, and Michael and Mr. Rabbit, and they say, look, this guy, he knows more than he should. This guy, I think his name was Ross. I can't remember right now. And Arby's like, no, my name's Peter. I'm done. He walks out of the room, and we don't see him again for a little bit. But we do see, we do find out a couple of things. They wanna push the Russian flu vaccination. They wanna have it in full distribution in like a week and a half, and it's gonna cost something like, $200 billion, and crap, what's his name? That character, and then the actor's name is Alistair. Jeff is like, you can't, he's trying to figure out how they're going to get all this money, and apparently a lot of billionaires are going to be killed, and their money is going to be donated to, the Janus operation to get the vaccination out there. So that's how they plan to do it. The only thing that's stopping them is that before it was finished, Jessica's father had made an adjustment. So we go to Jessica, and she's been locked up, and we meet her new interrogator. He has a notepad with no pages ripped out, and he has a pen. And he says, he tries to say that he doesn't want to hurt Jessica, but they know her father made an adjustment to Janice, and only if she doesn't say how what the adjustment is, the only other way is to open up her head. And we see that she had been really tortured by her previous interrogator, and she asks just for a Bible, and so her interrogator gets it to her, and he's talking to her. He's trying to be all nice and getting good cop. She apparently killed her last interrogator, and so she talks about a room that they used to let her visit, like one for an hour a day, where she could see clouds. And her interrogator, it's like, okay, he gets her in there. She's sitting there, and she takes off her shirt to show him her bruises, and she puts her shirt inside the sink in this little, like, it's a caged off room, something like Hannibal Lecter would be in. And she's soaking it with water, and she puts her overalls back on. And she's like, he's like, I don't want to get in your head. She's like, no, you're not in my head, but I'm in yours. And she attacks him. She ties him. She basically hangs him from the doorway of her little cage via the shirt, and then used parts of that Bible to like short out the system, so that if they try to shut the door, or if they try to move the elevator, if they try to do anything, it could possibly kill this guy. And once Mr. Rabbit finds out that her interrogator gave her the Bible, straight up kills him. Like, yeah, no worries. Boom, you're dead. And the episode actually ends. Milner's talking to Jessica. She's talking at Jessica, and she's saying, I'm sorry, what did I do to you? What happened? And as she walks away, Jessica's just staring out the window on these clouds, and we see downstairs, the security guard takes the interrogator's pen, but the pen doesn't work anymore. And then it goes back up to Jessica, who spits the spring out of her mouth, and that's where the episode ends. But we still have a little bit more to get to. So basically, Ian, Grant, Becky, Anton, and Ross meet up in the abandoned building, but there's a SWAT team after him, and in a really great action sequence, Arby shows up, and he just fucking takes out the entire team within like a split second. It was really awesome. Like, one guy comes in through the door and he grabs him and he takes his rifle and he's like, "How many people are here?" And he goes, "4, including you." And the guy nods and he says, "Thanks." He blows his head off. It was great, great. It just looked awesome. It was really cool. Arby was definitely up in his game in this episode. Really cool. And so kills all the whole SWAT team. Everybody escapes. They're out in the middle of a field, and Arby's like, "They weren't here to kill any of you. They were here to kill Ross." And that's basically where they or who is it, Donaldson? Let's find out once and for all. It was Donaldson. I've been calling him Ross. Oh, I must have nod. Sorry. Anyway, so that's where the episode ends. It was really good. I enjoyed it, except for the fact that I got two names mixed up. Ross was the interrogator. I thought so. It's been a crazy couple of days for me, so excuse the rambliness. Anyway, so I'm not sure how many episodes we're getting this season. I'm hoping we're getting at least 6. IMDb only goes up to episode 3, so I don't know. It's really good. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I'm curious what they're gonna do with Wilson. I'm wondering if he's gonna go, if he's playing them, because he says he believes in what they're doing. So I don't know. I don't have any real predictions for the show because the show's kind of unpredictable. But I enjoyed it. So thanks for listening, and I'll be back next Tuesday with another TV Mania presents Utopia.